So, the indie game studio, Giant Sparrow, better known for their critically acclaimed game, The Unfinished Swan, has once again brought the art of storytelling and unique gameplay to life. What Remains of Edith Finch proves to the player that their nomination of no less than 36 Game Award nominations is justified. This first-person exploration game does not hold your hand, but instead leaves the player to discover the story for themselves. You start on a boat. You have no idea who you are or where you're going. Only by trying to explore the controls do you discover that you are not stuck on the main screen, but you simply need to discover Edith's journal on your lap to begin the journey into Edith's memory at the time of writing the words on the pages. The game guides the player as they explore the Finch house and surrounding woods through a linear series of rooms, footpaths, and secret crawl spaces. It took me several minutes to realize that Edith's constant narration is not due to her not being able to keep quiet, but that you are reliving her memories as you are guided through the house by expository voice narration from Edith herself. Her words are visually displayed to the player as part of the scene to direct the player's attention. Through the house, you encounter a series of memorials to deceased relatives. This bases the premise of the story.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
At first, the simple gameplay of moving and interacting feels like the developers doesn't want you to play the game, but rather experience the story, which is true to some extent. But you soon discover that every memory of her deceased relatives has a different, unique gameplay mechanic, with Giant Sparrow making the most of what current gen platforms are capable of. As with many story-based indie games, there are no content that keeps the player coming back for more, but instead straps you into the driver's seat of what can only be described as a captivating experience. The art style, which is clearly similar to The Unfinished Swan, shows that the developers didn't feel the need to fix what isn't broken, but instead embrace the style and use it to their fullest intention.
In his own eyes, he becomes something greater than a king.
Now for the music. The musical score by composer Jeff Russo balances the atmosphere just enough for the player to feel unnerved in certain situations, then putting a positive or happy spin on obvious dark and sad interactions within the game. Personally, I enjoyed how, although the story is very linear and the way that each character reaches their demise is obvious, what is not obvious is the reasons behind it. This leaves the player to make their own presumptions and, if you're like me, has you wanting a second playthrough to try and discover hints to prove those theories. What Remains of Edith Finch had me captivated from start to finish with its well-written story. So if you can appreciate a game for what it does great, do yourself a favor and give it a chance. I dare say it's better than curling up on the couch on a rainy day with a good novel.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.